So friends, we will see one more aspect of load flow today, that we have said that in the problem that we had done, for example, we had taken one simple system that and this was the capacitive power being fed and this was the load being drawn. So this was the last problem and this was the line impedance. Here we assume that this bus is a PQ bus and this bus is a slack bus having angle 1 angle 0. So question is, why we should need slack bus? Or why I can't have all buses as PQ buses? So I will answer that question today because this is generally not clarified in many books, and this question might be asked you in the interviews when you appear for after passing final year in public sector undertakings, that why I can't have all buses as PQ buses, why I should have a slack bus. So let us assume that I have got a system of n buses and all buses are PQ buses. So which means I know P and Q at each bus. So I will take a second page and so I will know what is S1, which is equal to P1 plus JQ1. I will know S2, which is equal to P2 plus J times Q2. I will know S3, which is equal to P3 plus J times Q3. I will know S4, which is equal to P4 plus J times Q4. So these are all injected. Whenever we say that I know PQ, this is the injected P and Q into the network, into the bus, not network. So if there is a load PQ, that will have negative values. So what I am assuming is all these values are injected into the bus. So let us assume that all this going like this, I have got Sn, that are n buses, and this has got Pn plus J times Qn. So nothing wrong as far as mathematical model is concerned. Out of the 4 variables, I know 2 variables Pn and Qn, or Pi and Qi, and I have to find out Vi and delta I. So there are 2 n equations because with each bus there are 2 unknowns, V and delta, and if there are n buses, I will have, for n buses, I will have 2 n unknowns, which is V and delta. So it is V magnitude. And I have got 2n equations. Because for each bus, I can write an equation SI conjugate is equal to VI conjugate into II. And then I express II as sigma Yij Vj. So I can write equations for SI conjugate like this. So Pi will be Pi minus JQi will be equal to Vi conjugate into Yij Vj, j equal to 1 to n, and then I can write two equations. One, Pi is the real part of all this and Qi is the minus of imaginary part of this. So I can write this. So I am going to rub this out. Just I wanted to again revise. So now we have got, for each bus we can write two such equations. So we have 2n equations, we have 2n unknowns, and mathematically there does not seem to be any problem why we should have a slack bus. Every bus can be a PQ bus as far as these equations go, because we have got 2n unknowns, we have got 2n equations. So mathematically there should not be any problem. Now I will tell you what is the problem actually physically. So let me rub this out. It was just to again remind you how we have done the static load flow equation, or SLF. So now the left hand side of all this is known. So I know each one of this, which is equal to P1 plus JQ1, P2 plus JQ2, S3 is P3 plus JQ3, Sn is Pn plus JQ. All these are known quantities. At each bus we have got V and delta as unknown, magnitude voltage of voltage and delta. So all these things are known. So what I do, I sum all this up. Okay, so S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4 plus S5 plus Sn. So this is sigma Si. This will be equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4 plus Pn, which is sigma Pi plus J times sigma Qi, I equal to 1 to n. Here also I equal to 1 to n. Here also I equal to 1 to n. So I know what is sigma Pi. But each Pi I can write it as Pi is equal to net injected power, net injected real power into going into the bus. So I know Pi. So let us assume that Pgi is the generated power and Pdi is the load on that bus. So what will be the net injected real power which is being injected into the bus? Pgi is the power which is generated by the generator. Pdi is the power which is consumed at that bus. So what is the net injected real power into the bus? It will be equal to Pgi minus Pdi, right? Pgi minus Pdi. So what is sigma Pgi? What is sigma Pi? Let me have this. So sigma Pi will be equal to sigma Pgi minus sigma Pdi. So sigma Pi will be equal to sigma Pgi minus sigma Pdi. So what is this? This is summation of all the generation in the system. And what is sigma PDI? It is summation of all the loads in the system. And this is a known quantity. So this is a known quantity. So this quantity is a known quantity. Now what is summation of all the generation? This is sigma PGI. Summation of all the loads is sigma PDI. So what is, this will be total generation and this will be total of loads. So what is the difference between total generation and total load? What is that? You have to think over this. So let us say 100 megawatt, there are two generators. There is a total load of on one it is 50 megawatt and another is 30 megawatt. So 100 megawatt is the total generation and 80 megawatt is the total load. So what is that 20 megawatt? 20 megawatt is nothing but the losses in the system. So we know that the total load, total generation must be equal to total load plus losses. Why? You should ask me the question why. The answer is this has to follow the law of conservation of energy. And what is power? Power is energy per second. So at every second, we must have a balance of power. So the total generated power must be equal to the total load plus somewhere it must be going. Otherwise, total load is smaller than total generation. This cannot happen. So where it will go into the losses in the system. Now, why the losses will occur in the system? Because in each transmission line, there is some resistance. Although that resistance is small, very small. But the loss is not resistance. Loss is I square R. And what is the value of I? It runs into hundreds of amperes. Okay, it runs into hundreds of amperes. So hundreds of amperes square. So let us say even if it is 100 ampere. So 10 to the power 2 whole thing square is 10 to the power 4, which is 10,000 multiplied by the resistance. So this is in one line and this is going to happen in all the lines. So in every line there will be a loss, the current square in that line multiplied by the resistance of that. That will be the loss. And all such losses we should combine together. That will be the total losses. So when we say that this total generation minus total load is known quantity. So what is total generation minus total load? So if I bring this on this side, it will be total generation minus total. So known quantity is losses. So it means that we know, so this indicates total generation minus total load is a known quantity. So let me just have it like this. So total generation minus total load is a known quantity which is equal to losses. So losses is a known quantity. Now, there is no problem till this time. Till this time, only the conclusion of that all the bus will be PQ bus means that we know PI and QI at every bus. So we know what is sigma PI. So sigma PI is equal to sigma PGI minus sigma PDI. Sigma PGI is the total generation. Sigma PDI is the total load. And therefore we know sigma PGI, which is summation of all the generation minus summation of all the load. But this is equal to losses. So this is known. Sigma PI is known. That is equal to all the losses. So we know all the losses. What are the losses? How do we calculate the losses? And loss is equal to sigma I square into R. I equal to 1 to N. Sorry, not 1 to N. This should be equal to 1 to NL, where NL are number of lines in the system. So which means that I know this figure. So this is a known quantity. So what I am claiming that if I know PI at every bus, I will automatically know what is the losses in the bus. Which means that I know this. Of course, out of this, the resistance is a known part. Already known. This is known. But do I know this? Do I know II? Do I know II? Because II let us say this is the voltage at one bus. So let us say this is between M and N. This is bus number M. This is a line I. This is bus number N. This line is having the impedance, let us say ZI. This is the voltage of the bus Vm. This is voltage of the bus Vn. So what will be II in this case? II will be Vm minus Vn divided by Zi. So the loss will be loss in the line II square into R, which is Vm minus Vn divided by Zi. This is the current. I have to take the absolute value because it is I square R. So this is the absolute magnitude of that multiplied by R. So this is the loss in the line. And we are saying what our claim is, we know what is the total loss. So we know what is sigma II square into R. Here is the problem, that we are saying that we already know the loss. But how we can know the loss when I don't know Vm and Vn? These are the unknown quantities. So voltages are unknown. In fact, your load flow, we have seen that in the load flow, what is the input to the load flow program? Input is the network, that how one is connected, what is the admittance and all, and it is the generation and loads. And output, this is the input side. And output is voltage magnitude and voltage angle. So I know what is generation and the load. So does that mean that I will know what is Vm and Vn? I don't know. So how I can say this is a contradiction in itself? How I can say how can I say that I know the losses when I don't know the voltages. Because as we have seen, the loss is a function of voltage. So if I know the losses, I can't say this because I don't know what is Vm and Vn. So till I don't know Vm and Vn, how I can claim that I know the losses? So here lies the fallacy, or here lies the contradiction, that you cannot claim that you know the losses because you don't know the voltages. So unless the voltages are known, you can't know the losses. But we are already saying that we know what is sigma pi, which is sigma pgi minus sigma pdi. So I know the losses. This can't be a physical situation, and therefore I cannot have all the bus as PQ bus. So this is a contradiction. Losses are functions of voltages. Which itself are unknown. So how I can know the losses? There is a word called a priori. The dictionary meaning is known before. So how I can know the losses before the voltages are known? Because loss are function of voltages. Unless I know the voltages, I cannot find losses. And I am saying here that I know the losses because I know what is sigma pi. Therefore, I know what is sigma pgi minus sigma pdi. So I can't say this. This is a incorrect statement. Therefore, the presumption that all buses are PQ buses has got this contradiction. Therefore, so it cannot be the situation that I know, sorry, that I have all the buses as PQ buses. This just cannot happen. Physically, there is a problem. Mathematically, there is absolutely no problem. Mathematically, we have got 2n equations, we have got 2n unknowns, and therefore there is absolutely no problem in solving the mathematical equation. But it has the implications that I know the losses, which I can't say because the losses physically depend on the voltages. So I can't have this. So what is the way out? Therefore, way out is we assume one bus where we don't know P and Q. Instead, we know V and delta. And this we call it as slack bus. So now I can say that this sigma pi is no longer a known quantity because at one bus I don't know what is pi and qi. So it is an unknown quantity. So now I cannot say that I know the losses. Okay. So at one bus, I know Pi at every bus maybe, except one bus where I am saying that I know only V and delta. I don't know what is P and Q. So this I cannot know that what is sigma Pi. I just can't know. Okay, so sigma Pi will be unknown. Sigma Pi will be unknown. This I can't know. And therefore that question will not arise now. And therefore at one bus we now the system has n minus 1 can be n minus 1 PQ buses and 1 slack bus. This is called as slack bus, where V and delta are given. So now this contradiction is gone. So to remove that contradiction, and now mathematically still we can solve this, because these are the buses n minus 1 where PQ are known and V and delta are unknown, and one slack bus where PQ are unknown and V and delta are. So we still have got 2n equations and 2n unknown. So we can solve for this without any contradiction being created that I know the losses. I can't know the losses. So that is why it is preferable, or it is necessary rather, I will not call preferable also. It is necessary that we should have one slack bus in the whole system. All buses cannot be PQ buses. Okay, so this is the requirement, that physical requirement, that I at least should have one bus where I don't know P and Q, I know what is slack V and delta. So what is this implies? It still satisfies the mathematical equation, but it does not create that contradiction. And that is why we have got one slack bus, and that slack bus is generally the largest generator in the system. Now why this is so? This is so because at this generator or at this bus, so at slack bus, known are delta and unknown are, or things to be found out are, P and Q. So if it is V and delta that are the known things, which means that these are in our hand, or we can control. So if we have got the largest generator, okay, then it is possible that we will be able to control its voltage magnitude. It will be so large generator that we will be able to control its voltage magnitude. So that is the important part. And that is why it is generally seen that the largest bus is assigned as slack bus, where we say that we specify the voltage. Why? Because even if the voltage of other buses are down or up, since this being a super generator, we are able to control its voltage always. Okay, therefore we have this as the slack bus. Mathematically, it is not necessary. Mathematically, any bus can be slack bus where we specify V and delta. But generally, only where the generator is connected, we will be able to specify what is the voltage at that bus, because voltage is controllable using the field current. Therefore, and this delta is generally taken as reference or 0 degrees. So all the angles are measured with respect to delta, with respect to slack bus, and slack bus angle is 0. So that is because if you notice the equations, there it is always delta Ik. It is the difference of delta. So one reference we choose as 0 degrees, and the other angle of the other buses are chosen with respect to that slack bus. So we will stop at this point.